Win a Pageant, episode 22. Hi winners, if you're ready for more in-depth pageant training, get the free 15-day pageant course at freepageantcourse.com. Let's win a pageant. Hi winners, welcome to another episode of Win a Pageant. I'm your coach, Alicia Darby, and today I'm going to train you how to maintain your energy during pageantry, all the way from the beginning of your very first strategy call all the way through the post-pageant media tour. Now, as you know, being a pageant title holder takes a lot of energy. Oftentimes, you have to smile and wave for 3 hours or more, regardless of how cold it is in the New York City air on Thanksgiving Day for the Macy's parade. You may have to have entertaining conversations with media correspondents on next to no sleep without yawning on national television. You'll likely have to speak with grace and gratitude in a school auditorium to a bunch of teenagers right before lunchtime. And you will definitely have to politely negotiate the constant pull of requests for your time and your resources. All competitions are won in the combination of strategy and tenacity. Now, strategy is the process of preparation, and tenacity is the proper management of resources like your energy. That's a big one, especially when your tanks are under pressure. Many great leaders, including one of my favorites, Blair Singer, says the person with the most energy wins. Now, in this quote, Blair is actually referencing business, relationships, life, but this concept also applies to pageantry. I first heard a version of this as it relates to pageantry from Emily Wills, Miss Pennsylvania America 2006. I was competing at the time to be her successor, and it was a very grueling pageant week for me on top of many months of difficult preparation that I had endured. I also was under a lot of pressure because the year before I was first runner-up. So really, during this pageant week, I honestly just could not wait for it to be over. I was absolutely exhausted. So the night of finals, I actually plopped down in the hair and makeup chair next to Emily, just by happenstance, and I was in such a lucky place. I thought, I got to take advantage of this. So I asked for one piece of advice about success at the Miss America pageant. Her response was completely unexpected. She basically told me tenacity, that the winner is the one who makes it to the finish line. Now, at the time, of course, I was extremely exhausted, so I wished that I had asked that months ago, because the night of finals is not the time to be attempting to reserve your energy. What Emily was teaching me was that pageant winners have to know how to effectively manage their energy, first in order to win, and then, of course, to serve an entire year as a title holder. Right after a winner wins, she's usually escorted into a reception where she gives an acceptance speech. She then has to smile for photos with everyone and their brother, really, literally their brother. Then she may even be launched into a week-long media tour, followed by professional on-location photo shoot on a beach, hopefully not in the winter, Pageant title holders are really thrown into a lot, especially after they first win their pageant. And so the woman who wins must be somebody with incredible tenacity and the ability to manage her energy. If you don't know how to manage your energy, you will be left exhausted even before the pageant ends. And that is how women lose pageants. That's where I was when I was sitting down next to Emily having this conversation with her. I'd already lost the pageant because I was exhausted. And in fact, even having been first runner-up the year before, that year I did not even make it into the top 5. And I know for sure that this energy thing is why. Now, the good news is that energy is a renewable resource. If you feel low on energy, what do? Like you take a nap, you eat healthy food, maybe you have to take a vacation. I listen to uplifting music. I surround myself with encouraging people. I laugh. I might meditate or work out. Knowing how to renew your energy seems to come more intuitively than conserving your energy. But conserving energy is the key in pageantry. The year that I won Miss California, there was an outstanding contestant in my group. She was really, really excellent. She totally looked the part to perfection. She had already done many lovely and just incredibly impressive appearances. She was always at the gym, even that same week, like when I arrived, and then she was still there each day that I left the gym. She was constantly posting on social media, and she was diligent about her healthy meals. The night before the pageant, she was absolutely on fire at the gala. Everyone's buzzing around. She's entertaining and talking to everyone. I remember looking at her thinking, I ought to perk up a bit and dig into my energy reserve so I can match her outgoing personality that night. Because the gala is kind of an important time. You know, lots of people are interacting. It's a time right before the pageant, so you really feel like you got to step it up. But that was not a part of my strategy, and certainly it would have absolutely drained my tenacity. So instead, I stuck to my energy conservation plan, and although it's a subtle difference, it made a huge impact. I placed, and this outstanding contestant, who everyone really thought she had it, didn't even place. That's exactly what I experienced in the Pennsylvania pageant. And so you really need to learn how to manage your energy, because the girl with the most energy wins. So, how do you manage your energy? Well, I'm glad that you asked. There are 2 things you need to do, and they're real simple. Number 1, maximize the things that add energy. And number 2, minimize the things that drain your energy. Believe me, I also have some steps for you, okay? I wouldn't just leave you with that. I've got a lot of homework that you can do as well to actually understand this concept. So I want to explain to you that throughout your day, you will encounter many things that just absolutely drain your energy, like decision making, even the smallest decisions that you have to make, like the breakfast that you're going to have for that morning. All of that stuff takes energy. Another giant energy drainer is emotional distress, including arguing and complaining. It also includes physical activity and really just being awake. So anytime that you are awake, moving around, that takes energy. And the more drainage that you have during the day, or in our case, during pageant week, the more that you need to fill up and refuel. In pageantry, I've found that the most draining activities are, number 1, ignoring a preparation plan. If you know for sure that you are designed to follow a certain workout plan or a training strategy and you don't do it, this leads to feelings of regret and this shoulda, coulda, woulda experience. And that is draining. The second is a mindset of comparison, which makes you focus on other people, and it focuses on your lack, what you don't have, rather than your value. And that's incredibly draining. The third is worrying, especially of not winning. You focus on your fears and what could go wrong and things like that. And that's just not helpful at all because you can't control that. Another is the drama of negativity, gossip, complaining, hurting other people, being mean to other people. Another is just last minute decision making. So when you're unprepared or you haven't thought through things and then you have to make decisions last minute, that's draining. And the final is simply the responsibility of activity. Just doing stuff, anything. With that responsibility, it is draining. Now, not all of these are bad, of course. Some of these you will have to experience, but we're going to try to minimize a lot of the things that drain. So here are the best ways to stop draining yourself during pageant week. First of all, do not self-sabotage. Stick to your plan. Trust the process and the strategy that was created for your pageant. So if you put thought into how you're going to win, then do not sell yourself short. If you were strategized to stop eating sweets and do cardio twice a day or whatever, then stop it with the sugar. If you know that there's a process and you know what you need to do it to win the pageant, then just follow the process. If you know that you're supposed to have a coaching call every week, then don't miss it. Self-sabotage is absolutely ridiculous and really draining. With that being said, if something does come up for you and it wasn't intentional, like it just was a surprise, but it was something outside of your control, like maybe you had a death in the family that pulled you away from your training regimen for a moment, don't beat yourself up over it. Just get straight back on track and stick with the goal. Secondly, don't care so much about what the other contestants are doing or thinking or eating or saying or wearing. Is that exhausting. I live in the San Diego area near the Del Mar racetracks. That's where the horse races happen. And what I know is that thoroughbred horses, run their own race. Horses are not lining up at the start line, looking to the left, looking to the right, kind of checking out what the other horses are wearing or how they were trained and things like that. They just run. So if you have a strategy, stick to it, okay? Shield against being drained by other people's strategies during pageant week. Stick with your own. Thirdly, don't worry about not winning, okay? Keep your eyes on the prize. If you've done your homework, you've brought your very best self, and you've prepared exceptionally, then it doesn't matter how much you worry. It's not going to help you. It will only drain your energy reserve. So shield yourself against the outcomes and that you can't control, because once pageant week begins, now it's just about management. Don't be dragged into the negative drama. The moment that someone utters even a whisper of gossip or negativity, find a polite excuse to remove yourself from the situation. Words are very powerful, and just hearing negative comments will let them seep into your psyche. So shield against the drainage from negativity at all times, not just pageant week. That's always. Don't leave yourself with last-minute decisions to make. This was one that took me many, many tries to actually learn. Make all of your decisions before you go to the pageant. So that goes for exactly which earrings you're going to wear for the school visit and how you'll wear your hair to the trip to the zoo, or exactly which shoes you'll wear for evening gown. Just be detail-oriented in advance so that you can shield against decision-making during the pageant week. And then finally, don't leave all your duties up to you alone. It definitely takes a team to win a pageant. That's why there are vendors for every element of competition, from wardrobe styling to hair and makeup to coaching. I recommend that you hire someone else to do what you don't have to do. Now, of course, you can't hire someone to walk the runway for you, but you can hire someone to do your makeup, zip your dress, plan your workouts, write the strategy for your preparation. Don't attempt to get your certification as a fitness trainer and then write your own workout plan and drive yourself crazy. Hire someone else to do that. Don't attempt to create a 3-month pageant training strategy on your own. Hire someone else to do that. Your energy is precious, and the more that you delegate those things that other people can do, and by the way, they can probably do it better than you because that's what they get paid to do, then the more energy you'll conserve for what you do best. Managing your energy isn't about being a wallflower. It's not about not using energy at all or not talking to the other contestants, unless, of course, that is something that is draining, in which case I would recommend limiting it. But it's more about just being wise in where you put your efforts. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Step number 1, I want you to make a list of the things that you know are particularly draining for you. And these are going to be different for everybody. Put them in 2 categories. Category number 1, these are the things that you know you just want to avoid altogether. Like, it's not necessary to the pageant. This is like gossip, drama-rama, negativity, that kind of junk. Then in category number 2, all the other stuff that is necessary to pageantry, but you might still find it draining, okay? So that's like creating your pageant strategy for training, maybe doing your makeup. For me, it's doing my hair. Oh, it takes me forever to do my hair. It's not something I want to do. It's draining. Maybe creating your platform ads. That's necessary. It needs to be done, but it's draining to you, okay? So think about what those things are. You're making a list and having 2 categories. Step number 2, from that list, in the category of avoidance, I want you to brainstorm a way for each one of these, a way that it can be avoided. So for example, if the other contestants are talking smack, and that's something that you put on the category that you want to avoid, you could say, "Excuse me," and then just absolutely leave the conversation. That's sort of my strategy. I don't say much, I don't make up reasons like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom," or "I'm gonna go practice," or something like that, because then people are like, "Oh, I want to come with you," and that drives me crazy. So I just say, "Excuse me," and I stand up and leave. Just exit the conversation. Now, for every element of the other list of necessary pageant elements, think of a person that you can outsource those things to. This is what business owners do. We call it outsourcing. When you give a project that doesn't have to be done by the business owner, you give it to somebody else, okay? So now I talk about what I know best. I know that a pageant preparation strategy is on every girl's pageant list of preparation. What they need to do, they need to create a strategy. And that's my specialty. So if I were you, I would write Alicia Darby next to that one because I know I can help you. Step number 3, start outsourcing, okay? Find the contact information for the someone that you wrote down on every element of your pageant needs. And then reach out to them in advance to ensure that, first of all, that they're a fit and also that they're available for you. So if it's a makeup artist and you want to work with somebody that you love, like Austin Ride, who's amazing, then make sure that they are available that day. And if not, then you can arrange for somebody else. Step 4, make a list of all of the things that add energy to you. So for me, I get filled up. I'm refueled when I do yoga, when I pray, when I get a full 8 hours of sleep. And if I eat a giant spinach and fruit salad, I get fueled up. I just feel good. I'm re-energized, I also know exactly the names of the people that I enjoy spending time with who energize me, So make your list. And then start to do more of these. In fact, every day you should be doing something that puts energy back into your essence. Now, the hardest part about this, believe it or not, is not the outsourcing part. It is the avoiding draining activities. That is the thing that is the most difficult part, okay? So start practicing that right now. What I want you to do is only spend your time with uplifting people. Walk away from negative conversations. Stay focused on your own strategy. Don't concern yourself with comparing yourself to other people. It's fine to look around and get advice and to get resources from others, but don't get lost in the applesauce of things that you cannot control. No one wants to be lost in applesauce. Now, if you found that some of these ideas are new to you, then there is likely a few other things that you may also love to learn. I teach a ton of concepts just like this in my free pageant course, and I would love for you to have an advantage in your next pageant. In fact, this week alone, we had nearly 100 new contestants from all over the U.S. competing in pageants like the Miss USA, the National Teenager, National American Miss America. We had so many new contestants join the free pageant course, and I would love for you to be among these incredible women. So all you have to do is go to freepageantcourse.com to get your hands on this incredible pageant training. That, ladies, is how you win a pageant. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next time. Let's win a pageant. To learn more and to get valuable resources to help you win, visit winapageant.com. Hey there, I'm Alicia Darby, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching that last video. If you totally loved it and got something from it, would you just click subscribe right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Hey, I am here for you, and I've got so many more trainings and videos for you. In fact, this one would be a really great one to watch next. Or if that topic doesn't interest you, then try this one. It's my most recent video training. So I think both of these would be really great for you. Thank you again so much for subscribing. I am honored to be your coach. I'll see you again soon.